Tip number 67 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. I am the author, Greg Vandenberg, trying to help you guys and gals make a little more money with a little less frustration. 67, no swearing, especially at your customers. And again, if you're good church-going people, you might not swear. There are people who don't swear. I understand this. But there are a lot of people in the construction industry that do, and you might be one of those people. Hey, let's zip it. Keep it shut there. Most people find swearing offensive, yet the construction industry is full of people who swear and swear often. And I was one of those people. Guilty as charged. If you're serious about making more money, you're going to need to adjust your vocabulary. And this is so true. A lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, there are some people who not only find swearing offensive, they also view it as a form of ignorance. So if you're swearing, I had one person tell me one time that people who swear don't have a large enough vocabulary to find the correct word. And it's really easy to use these words along the way to express yourself. So you can imagine working for some people, and you're not going to see it all the time. You're not going to see the problems. You're not going to see the judgment. You know, you can't read these people's minds. You might be swearing at something, or just, you know, you're working by yourself, and your hammer hits you hit your thumb with a hammer, and all of a sudden it's this and F that and son of a gun and on and on. Well, you might not think it's a problem, but if you're working for someone who does think it's a problem and they don't convey that it is a problem, they don't show any emotion, nothing that this is a problem. They just kind of they act like it doesn't affect them or bother them. You could end up working for people like these, and you're not going to think it's a problem, but they're never going to recommend you again. You're not going to get any more clients from these individuals. No more referrals. And this is the main thing, realistically. This is the key to any business. More customers, referrals, customers, referrals. So if you don't know this is a problem, I'm telling you right now that it more than likely is going to be a problem. Look at it like this. If, you know, let's just say that you pick your nose. And I know that's kind of sick or gross to a lot of people, but, you know, there are people who pick their nose in front of people. No one will say anything. You know, what about the person who has a mustard on their side of their mouth and walks around for 3 or 4 hours before finally someone comes up and tells them, hey, you got a piece of mustard. Oh my God, I've been walking around for 3 hours with this on my face. Why didn't someone tell me? Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm telling you that swearing and cussing, if you do it and you don't think it's a problem, but I can tell you right now that it is going to be a problem to some people, then, and if you eliminate it and you don't do it anymore, then you're not going to be offending these people ever again with your swearing. You might offend them in another way, and of course you're going to have to adjust for that in the future also. And this is kind of like trial and error. I've said things to people I didn't think I was going to offend, and all of a sudden, you know, they're taking it to heart, and I gotta pucker up and start kissing some you-know-what because I just offended someone, and I didn't mean to do this. And for me, it's not really all about the business all the time. I'm the kind of person who doesn't want to offend anyone anyway. I don't want to offend someone. That's just not what I'm interested in. So this actually helps me in business. If you're the kind of person who doesn't mind it, or you get a big kick out of it, you better change your way of thinking right across the board. Not only with abusive language, but with everything else that you do that you find a lot of humor in that someone else doesn't. And it all goes back to you're cussing on a job, you offend someone, and they don't refer you any more business because you offended them enough not to, or they're not going to, refer you to certain people. And this happens every once in a while too. You know, let's say you're working for a man and a woman who go to church, but they're kind of hip. They're not really, you know, it doesn't really bother them if you cuss. Hey, you know what? Maybe they even cuss too, or they're getting a kick out of it. But someone that they know, ask them if they know a contractor who does good work, and you're that contractor, and they're ready to recommend you because they're happy, they're satisfied with your work. Fantastic job. But it comes to their mind, wait a minute, this is the pastor of our church. This is a friend of my father, and they are real prim and proper. Guess what? You're not going to get the recommendation. You know, they don't want to look like you know, jerks, you know, which is what when we recommend someone, realistically we're recommending them for a reason, because they excel in what they do. But at the same time, if you're a slob, you dress like a slob, you drive an old beat up car that leaks oil all over the driveway, you never comb your hair, you dress horrible, you use offensive language. Hey, all of these things, and I mean, I don't just mean all of them. It could be as simple as one of them. Maybe you, you know, came to work one day with a ripped shirt. You know, and again, this might not be a big deal to you. You're driving, you just put a shirt on in the morning, you drive to work, and you notice it's got a rip on it, big deal. Well, this might be really offensive to someone else, and it might be offensive enough. And this is where the abusive language comes in. For you, as a contractor, not to be referred. And don't forget, one referral could end up over a period of time, 5 years, to be 10 highly valuable customers that refer you. This is how you really make money in the construction business, and don't forget it. So when it comes to abusive language, lose it.